the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama, touchdown.
And everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
Good Tuesday evening out there to everybody, and welcome into Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR's Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Brett Pritchard and Luke Robinson with you till 9 o'clock tonight, and glad that you joined us out there wherever it is that you might be watching or listening to us via Facebook Live. You can comment away, as a lot of you do throughout the show. You can give us a call, 256-234-6221. Luke, good to see you on a Tuesday. A little bit of rain outside.
Thank God. Brett, I'm going to tell you, man.
It's been hot.
You know, I went to Orange Beach last week, and I had fun. Had two of my kids there. Well, three of my kids there. And but I keep forgetting one of them's 15, so you don't really treat it that way. But I had a 12-year-old and a 5-year-old, and then my wife and her mom and stepdad. And, like, you know, I'm in the ocean. Like, one day we found like 300 sand dollars. I mean, like a crazy amount of sand dollars.
Did you cash them in?
No, I should have. I think they're only good at Disney for Finding Nemo. But we also, you know, when I go there, I'm not, especially with kids, I'm trying to do kid stuff and still be the relevant, fun dad. And I gathered up some other kids around, you know, they were at the beach, and I said, let's play kickball. I bought a little kickball, actual old school kickball.
Okay, cool.
And Brett, I played that, and I got up there and kicked, and I started running to first base, and my back just went, nope. And I mean, I'm telling you,
it's out.
Your back's that morning. All right, but the weather was fine then. I'm going to get to the weather.
Okay.
And that morning, at 3 in the morning, I got up, you know, because now I'm about 50. You got to get up and go to the bathroom about 3. And I got up to go to the bathroom. I couldn't get out of bed. I rolled out of bed, and I got on the floor, and I was like, I'm going to crawl to the bathroom because, I mean, I can't just leave a puddle here. But I couldn't crawl. My back was hurting so
much
bad.
For that great idea, kickball, right?
I mean, my back was hurting so bad, and it wasn't just the pain. It was literally my body was like, I'm not letting you go. Like I remember even thinking, you know, I was like, it's involuntary to move your hands. I was like, brain, tell my hands to go past. They were like, we're not doing it. Just not going to do it.
You're going to sit right here and pee all over yourself.
So finally, I laid there for an hour. And I finally because I didn't want to wake my wife up because I was like, she might just be mad at me. I can't deal with her mad at me, me having to pee, and my back hurt. I can't do all three of them. So I finally called to her to get up, and she couldn't pick me up. I'm about 250. She couldn't pick me up. So finally, I was able to somehow get back in the bed, hold it. You know, the moment had passed, and I was scared I wasn't going to be able to pee for 3 days.
You scared it off at that point.
Anyway, so I was thinking at least the weather is seasonable. I mean, the weather was like 85 and low humidity, just great.
Right.
And then somebody turned something on, and that thing switched so quick. And it was like today. You know, when you walked outside today, it was like Mother Nature hit you with a hot shovel in the face.
It was brutal.
Until this rain
just
a few minutes ago.
Hey, you praise these little rain showers in the summer that pop up. But you bring that up, and, you know, right now in the state of Alabama, the World Games we just talked about. I mean, look, I'm not gonna bash them, but does anybody know they're going on? I mean, it's literally. Look, I'm gonna say this. It just the marketing behind this. I mean, I've actually talked to some people this week, and I said, you know, what about the World Games in Birmingham? They went, what? And these are big sports fans. They're like, well, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, there's supposedly something that's very similar to the Olympics going on. That opening ceremonies last Thursday. And they're like, opening ceremonies? What? They literally, I have not talked to anybody that really even knows what the heck's going on. I didn't even see anything. I was in Birmingham yesterday. I didn't really even see any billboards or anything that says that there's anything going on. I was downtown at UAB on the campus. I saw a smidgen of a few people walking around with a lanyard and would look like a pass. But, man, it was not. It was really slack. I mean, I hate it for.
And they've missed an opportunity because
I really think they have.
Brett, I'm telling you right now, this past week up until next week,
dead.
Everybody's hurting for content.
And they just want to go and see something.
Yeah, and I mean, look, we're missing college baseball now. I mean, I know the Braves are right in the thick of it again.
Oh, yeah.
And some people are paying attention to that, but you really can't pay attention to Major League Baseball until about 2 months from now. It just doesn't matter until 2 months from now. So, NBA Summer League's going on, but nobody's really watching that. I mean,
They just
Alabama and
watching
Auburn
some of
people
the
are kinda,
prospects, yeah.
but we've never watched it before.
No.
And then, the NFL.
When did they start the Summer League, actually?
I don't even know. I think we got a call. Let's go ahead and get this before we
Okay.
forget them. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Brad, do y'all know when y'all gonna have football kick you out? High school football kick you?
It should already be out. I'll try to run that down for you here in a little bit. Okay.
All right, and like y'all said, I helped coach the softball 9, 10, 11, 12. Like y'all said, it was hot there. I gained there. I'm thrashed.
Yeah, if you outside right now, it's scorching, no doubt.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, because they took Brad. We had our kids I fell out. I mean, it was just too hot for those kids to be out there, but we know we had to do it. So, no.
Yeah, we missed the days of drinking out of the mud puddle. Right?
Y'all about that. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate you, Johnny. Thank you, sir.
I mean, I can hear the rain on the tin roof out there. I feel like being Andy Dufresne just walking out there after he dug through the sewage tunnel and just putting my hands up in the rain because, I mean, it's awful. But, okay, going back to the World Games for a second. I live in Birmingham, so
right.
Going back and forth, I was in Birmingham Sunday, and I really thought we'd see a lot more activity. I didn't see it when we were at Orange Beach. I told my wife, I was like, let's I'm sure it's on a channel. It was on nothing.
It's on nothing.
And I thought
nobody picked it up.
I just think they've missed an opportunity, and it would be nice to have.
Okay, they had 2 years though, Luke, to prepare for this.
I know.
All right, the thing is it's not like they just found out they were getting these things a month or two ago. I mean, for 2 years. Now, granted, I remember when COVID and that kind of put a damper, but I remember everybody saying, heck, thank goodness World Games aren't coming this year. Thank goodness they're coming in 2022. And there's one little thing, a digital sign
that says countdown.
That says countdown. That says World Games are here. And if you're just driving down through there, you're going, oh, what is that? I mean, I literally saw no signage in Birmingham, anywhere, nothing.
Well,
I've seen no commercials promoting it. I've seen nothing, man. I mean, that is unbelievable.
Well, and they've got some pretty cool events. They got sumo wrestling. You got flag football, which I would love to go to.
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors.
They were having it. They were having it at Legion Field. I was like, I'm just not going to Legion Field right now. I mean, I understand. It's one of the more iconic places, but you go there almost as a museum now.
Right.
You don't go there
Right.
to actually watch a game. There's a couple other. I think there's actually tug of war or something.
I'm just going to be interested to see what the turnout has been.
Well,
I'm pulling for it to be good. I'm just saying that we run a sports show here. I've talked to a bunch of sports people over the last week. They don't know anything about it. And I'm just saying that that's kind of odd.
It is odd.
It's just, I asked you, I said, have you seen a lot of stuff about it? And you said, no, we tried to find it on TV and it's not existent. Now, Reed in the back there went to something on Saturday, went to lacrosse, and then he talked about the Olympic channel. I mean,
I didn't know there was an Olympic channel.
Who's watching that?
Well, I didn't know there was one.
Well, there is one, but usually people watch it during the Olympics.
Well, I knew there was an Olympic channel during the Olympics. I didn't know there was all the time an Olympic channel.
I didn't either. I thought, they had that gold, silver, and bronze channels on the Olympic. You can watch the different events when the Olympics are going on. Look, I'm not trying to bash it. I really am not. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying that I think they could have done a better job of this. They could have promoted it. Maybe we're not in the circle that they promoted, but this would have been a great opportunity to come on shows like ours, anything else, and say, look, World Games are coming. Who's the spokesperson for this? Who did that kind of stuff? I mean, I know the city of Birmingham, but the city of Birmingham is the host city. They're not responsible really for the marketing and promo. What are you trying to push out there? We would have been able to I would have loved to have given away tickets, doing some stuff like that.
I have no idea
I don't know.
if they have breakdancing. I saw last night. I watched the local news, and they had breakdancing, and my first thought was this is kind of cool. My second thought was I didn't know people still broke dance. Is that the past break dance? Break danced? I don't know what the past tense is. So
if they broke dance, something happened.
But I've done the broke dance several times. But no, anyway, I'm like you. I would love for it to succeed. I think some of these events sound very intriguing to me, and I wish that they were more visible and more accessible. But again,
and maybe no network could take.
Is there
maybe the Olympic Channel had exclusivity to it,
or maybe
doesn't NBC Sports own that?
I don't know, but I mean, you're telling me NBC Sports or CBS Sports or Fox Sports 1 or some of these channels that's got cornhole on them right now.
Right.
And I watch corn. I'm not
crap,
dogging
man.
cornhole.
ESPN has rock skipping on sometimes. I'm not kidding. I mean, that's
watch
serious.
cornhole. I think it's kind of cool. But I'm saying when you have it on all the time, are you telling me you can't sneak in? You're telling me people won't watch flag football for the World Games?
No,
I would watch the heck out of that.
I think I would go to it if I knew when it was.
If I knew when it was.
Can somebody send me a schedule?
Well, first of all, if I knew when it was, and if it weren't at Legion Field.
I mean, let's look it up.
Why can't you do it at the Hoover Met? Why can't you do it at? I mean, maybe there's another event there. I don't know.
Well, the Hoover Met's got the 7-on-7 going on right now. So
let me tell you something I just thought of too, Brett.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about doing something with the kids this weekend, and we looked at there's some stuff going on with the World Games, but there's also a Barons game. See, I would have thought that there would be some kind of coordination, like, hey, Barons, y'all don't need to be at home this week. It's bad for both of us.
Yeah. How do you not? It's like, when in bigger cities, the NBA and NCAA, they don't lap things over. They always look ahead. Why was that not planned out? It's 2 years in advance. I mean, don't you think you would have?
And it's a lot easier to maneuver a minor league baseball schedule than it is a major league baseball schedule.
Right.
And maybe the Barons were like, hey, we're going to do our thing. You do what you want to. But I would think there would be some kind of mutual.
What is squash?
Squash is kind of like, isn't squash kind of like cricket?
I thought you ate it.
Huh?
I thought you ate squash.
You do. I don't eat it much.
All right, you got tug of war coming up on.
When is that?
The 13th and 14th. Okay. You got water skiing, which is cool. Racquetball, that's pretty daggum cool.
Racquetball would be cool.
Racquetball's awesome. What is korfball?
I have no idea.
Okay. Kickboxing, that would be pretty cool to watch. Karate.
Kickball would have been cool.
Karate's already passed. Handball is a lot of fun to watch.
Well, that's what Wilt Chamberlain specialized in after basketball.
What is floorball?
I have no idea.
You were trying to think of it.
I was trying.
All right, so here's an O. What is fistball?
You can only hit it with your fist?
I don't know what it is. Canoe. So I'm assuming that's canoe racing.
I mean, yeah. That.
Bowling, cool. Billiards, awesome.
But
baseball,
it wouldn't
archery.
Yeah.
Air sports.
Where is all that? There's a drone thing.
Air sports.
Yeah.
That's got to be the drone thing.
That's got to be.
Anyway.
But see, Brett, and we're going to talk about this because, again, it's a dead week. But really, most everybody wants us to hear us talk about SEC or expansion. They don't really care about it either. But if we all knew when the flag football was and it was in a place where we would all go, we would go to it.
Right.
We would go see flag football. There's no doubt. I was playing it up until about a year and a half ago.
That's exactly. I didn't even see flag football on the list.
It's on the list.
Why not? One I just read it wasn't.
I promise you.
Okay, well, let me look.
I thought you just read it off to me and said flag football.
No, I never said that.
Oh, you didn't?
I
Okay.
said.
I know it's.
I said floorball and fistball. I never said flag football. Well, it's not on this list. So let me see if I can find something else. So we're up against our first break of the program. Give us a call, 256-234-6221 to be part of it. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision-making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.
verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Russell Do It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
You want the best opportunity to be successful in life. You deserve that opportunity. Well, you just happens to be in our motto, central to you, central to your success. Your future is right now. Don't wait. Make your dreams a reality by enrolling at Central Alabama Community College. Register today at cacc.edu.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Again, thanks to both of them for being longtime partners here on the program. If you've been to the World Games in Birmingham, or you go and call us or send us a message on Facebook, we'd love to hear from you. I mean, again, I'm not diminishing it at all. I think it's cool that we had an event. I just hate that it wasn't promoted a little bit better. I think there could have been a lot more involvement with kids groups, and maybe there has. I mean, maybe I'm just off, and if I am, I'll apologize. Kyle said, Brett, our BRHS games going to be broadcast and live streamed on the app again this year, like last year? Yes, they'll be on the NFHS network, like they did last year. If you have a subscription, you'll be able to watch Benjamin Russell online this year. I know Johnny called in wanting to know about the schedule. It's getting that time of year, Luke. Everybody's starting to ask about high school football. We are less than 40 days out now from the start.
So you won't be able to do the thing on Facebook anymore, though.
We didn't do that last year.
Yeah, I was trying to remember.
Yeah, it
all blends into me.
Well, it does, but it's better to do NFHS and have a subscription. And, you know, to be honest with you, when you do Facebook Live, everybody feels like they want to get in there and comment.
Well, not only that, some of the most god-awful comments.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody feels like they got to get in there, and it's just ridiculous, to be honest with you.
I mean, it's really horrible the way some of the things that were said about just everybody
right.
on both teams,
anything, and
coaches.
Well, everybody's a commentator at that point. You're just opening up to just whoever wants to go on there. It's just a daggum open chat room during the whole ball game, and then really nothing to be gained out of that. So it's on a lot better platform as far as that's concerned. Excited about this team. Excited about Smitty Grider and what he's bringing to the table with his hiring new coaches. Has hired 2 really, really good coordinators and brought them in, and has hired some other assistants here this past week. We'll as we get closer to the season, Luke, we'll start running down some of the schedules of teams. We talked about it Saturday, Scott and I did, on some of the expectations, some of the realignments for the regions. But I tell you, and look, Chelsea, man, what a rough draw. You know, not only do you go from 6A to 7A, you get stuck in the SEC West equivalent of high school football when you draw out Hewitt, Trustful, Hoover, Thompson, Oak Mountain, Vestavia, just brutal, man. And so I hate it. I mean, again, they'll be up to the challenge. They'll play the best they can, but that's not a very nice induction to 7A football. And then, of course, if you look at another team across the state that's been in 7A but kind of faces the similarities of what Chelsea's going to be faced with is, Smith Station. You look at, they're in there with Auburn and Enterprise and Prattville and just a loaded Phoenix City. And now you add Opelika to that region. It's just a very, very brutal region. So, but Luke, high school football, man, just a few weeks away, we'll have the Champions Challenge. It's not really the Champions Challenge, the Kickoff Classic coming up on the HSA Radio Network, and then we'll have the season starting, and then you'll be on once again for another year of Scoreboard Show on our affiliates throughout the state of Alabama. It's probably one of the most fun things we do every year is produce and push out that Scoreboard Show all over the place. So looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be another great year in the state.
It is. Thompson, again, with a slew. And one thing that I'm excited about, and we always follow recruits, and, we talk about, certain prospects every week on the Scoreboard Show. But this state is so loaded this year. They're trying to follow all these recruits every Friday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Who did what was their stat line for the night, whether they were a receiver, a running back, a defensive lineman, a defensive end, a linebacker, a cornerback, whoever. What kind of stats did they put up? And, I think all the way down to player 23 right now on 24/7 is a 4-star here in the state of Alabama.
Yeah, it's just an unprecedented year. But, boy, you look at Peter Woods committing to Clemson. They've already gotten Chris Vizina, Tamarian Parker to Penn State. They've also got a safety prospect committed there. Tennessee's got some folks. Georgia, obviously, with A.J. Harris. Arkansas's got a couple. It's there are three big ones still left out there in Kelby Collins,
two of the top
Russell,
six,
and James Smith. But, a lot of people think Smith and Russell, at least are giving Georgia a very big-time look. And Kelby Collins, I wouldn't say he's a lock to go to Alabama. I mean, so, man, it could be one of those years where it's awesome, but Alabama and Auburn didn't fill up like you thought they would.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows you a new day and age of what kids are deciding to do and what they want to do, and it's something that you got to deal with. But again, we'll continue to talk about that and preview high school football as we head in. August 19th is the first regular season game on a Friday night. So everybody, I mean, you look at your calendars, man. You're about a month out.
Here we go.
I mean, just and it is so hot out there. The 7-on-7 stuff going on all over the state. The OTAs. I've been following a bunch of those online and seeing what some of these teams are doing. I know Benjamin Russell was in a 7-on-7 today up in Birmingham as well. So we're up against another break. We come back, we'll dive into some SEC talk. Want to put the brakes on all of the expansion, according to the SEC presidents. We'll talk about that and a lot more when we come back. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Growing your business isn't just one thing. It's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
You want the best opportunity to be successful in life. You deserve that opportunity. Well, you just happens to be in our motto, central to you, central to your success. Your future is right now. Don't wait. Make your dreams a reality by enrolling at Central Alabama Community College. Register today at cacc.edu.
Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center provides optimum care for the whole person. Dr. Dimo Popov specializes in the prevention and diagnosis of high blood pressure, kidney disease, diabetes, and acute and chronic conditions. Our weight loss clinic offers lipo shots and a guide to healthy weight loss. Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center, where lifestyle changes are made.
When the Lake Martin area wants country, it turns to Kalijah Country 97.5. Lake Martin's best country.
Goes like one margarita, two margarita, three margarita shot. And if the house just keeps on winning, I got a wild card up my sleeve. I wish grandpa's never died.
Lake Martin's best country is on Kalijah Country 97.5.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Luke, let's go back to the phone line.
Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, how y'all doing tonight?
What's up, Terry?
How you doing, buddy?
Doing great, doing great.
You at the World
Guys,
Games,
I was
Terry?
encouraged by hearing y'all talk about recruiting, but at the same time, when you see guys going to Tennessee and Arkansas and Penn State and Georgia Tech, knowing the needs that Auburn has down there, I really believe, guys, that if Brian Harsin is left in place long enough, he's going to ruin the Auburn program. He's going to have it to a point to where it's going to take a miracle to come back. Because this is not 1981. It's before somebody brings up what Coach Dye did after Barfield. So I just don't understand it, guys. There's guys. Auburn has needs. The guy in Eufaula really bothers me. I've spoken on that before. You guys know that. That really bothers me because of Auburn's need on the offensive line. And I know before somebody calls in and says, or anybody says, they got the number one running back and the number one receiver. Well, I have never seen a receiver catch a pass from a quarterback laying on his back. And I never seen a running back produce great numbers behind a terrible offensive line. And maybe Barry Sanders, but I don't think Detroit's offensive line was horrible. I just think they were average. And Barry Sanders made them look really, really good.
No, Detroit's offensive line was pretty bad.
Good.
No, they were pretty bad.
Terry, I'll tell you, just to your point, just running through this list, I'm going to go straight down from number one to I'll let you know when I stop. But number one, James Smith, uncommitted. Tony Mitchell, Bama. Jaleel Hurley, Bama. Peter Woods, Clemson. A.J. Harris, Georgia. Quay Russell, uncommitted. Christopher Vazina, Clemson. Kelby Collins, uncommitted. Tamarian Parker, Penn State. Wilkin Formby, Alabama. Keldrick Falk, Florida State. Hunter Osborne, uncommitted. A lot of people think he'll end up at Clemson. Carmelo English, Auburn. Yanzi Pierre, Bama. Stanton Ramel, projected to go to Auburn, but even the Auburn moderators think now he's headed to Tennessee. Avery Stewart, a safety, headed to Kentucky. Sylvester Smith, Tennessee. Jeremiah Cobb, who you talked about, to Auburn. Dakari Nelson to Penn State, and Carmelo.
Penn State with three already.
That's three.
Is
Is that three? Just two. Tamarian Parker and,
I thought
and
you'd
Dakari
already had-
Nelson.
okay.
And then Carmelo Overton. So, I mean, that's the top 20, and most everybody that I just mentioned is committed, and the vast majority are not only headed out of state, they're headed out of the SEC.
Right. Good point. Good point. And I think Penn State had two, as you were going off there, Luke. But I think they have one that might be leaning to them, quite honestly. So maybe that's where the Brett got the three from.
I think they're in the mix for at least three, if not more, as you scroll on down past the top 20. I mean, look, James Franklin got it done at Vanderbilt. He's coming into one of the richest states in the Southeast, and he's plucking some of the top players. It should be a concern for everybody involved, especially for Auburn in trying to land some of these top recruits. Now, look, Auburn's got 4 commitments, Terry. They're all 4 stars. Got to pick the volume up, though. Got to get some numbers. Need to be up around 10 to 12 guys, really, in my opinion, right now as we start to head in. But, again, all the stuff that went on after the season, the terrible end of the season really handicapped that from happening. So, it's the deck of cards that you're playing with, and it's the hand of cards you've been dealt. Nothing's going to change until football season kicks off for Auburn. They've got to have a decent year. They need to show improvement. They need to show that they're a competitive team, and they need to show that they've made some progress under Brian Harsin, and it'll start to fix some of itself. But until then, we're going to continue to have these conversations every week.
Well, I mean, they've got to put a productive. I'm more concerned about how the losses look. Because I think they're going to improve on wins. I really do, because this experience coming back. But the losses have to be competitive losses. You can't lose Alabama and Georgia 52-3.
No, I don't think we're going to lose to Alabama 52-3. I don't think. I mean, but I know where you're going with it, but I just think that again, it's all speculation until we see what kind of product rolls out on the field. I mean, this team is not going to be a bad team. It's going to be a pretty decent team. Now, I don't know what their accomplishments will be at the end of the season, but I think they're going to run enough talent out there to be pretty competitive. It's the following years after that you were worried about, that other Auburn fans are worried about, that everybody has a right to be worried about, because they're not stockpiling recruits to compete in this league.
And see, Brett, that's the point I've been trying to make. Let's say they have a 7 or 8 win season this year. You followed up with a 5-win season. Brian Harsin better be looking at going back to Idaho, because he won't make it past that. And I say go Brian Harsin and take Alan Green with you, because quite honestly, neither one of them are worth the jobs they have.
I think they're tied at the hip.
They are tied.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, they're tied together.
Yeah. See, I mean, they was his hiring. There's certain people that I think money people that are mad because he went out and hired Harsin and then left them out of the picture for the most part. And you know how the good old boy network works.
Well, let me say this about that. And you're right. But when you give a lot of money to a program and you weren't, I guess, involved, and I hate to use that word because, the AD and the people within have to really make the decisions. But if you don't feel like you were really included at all in any part of the process, but then they come back to you and ask you for your donations and your money to help them run the program, I can see where there's a few people. I'm not saying it had to go their way. I'm saying not to just cast them totally out of the picture and have them not involved at all.
Well, and I hear people say we're going to have a great, baseball team next year and a very good, very competitive basketball team. Bruce Pearl is what he is. But, guys, I've said it 100 times. I'll say it 100 more times. Football is the locomotive that pulls the train. And for people that don't think that, then you need to go into North Carolina and be a Duke or North Carolina fan.
Well, not only that, Terry, all you have to do is look, if basketball was such a big deal, everybody would be frothing at the mouth to get Kansas, right? I mean,
absolutely.
So they're not, because Kansas's football team is dead weight. You bring them in, you're just sending them $100 million or whatever everybody's going to be getting, and they're not pulling their weight. We all love basketball, but it's not in the same area code as football. It's just not.
Been close.
And so that's okay to say. In fact, I think eventually we may wind up with something that maybe a lot of these football teams, they break away to 40 to 60 teams, whatever, and they have their own thing.
That's going to happen.
And then basketball and all the other sports, baseball, whatever, swimming,
Look,
tennis.
I hate to give all of us kudos on here, but, man, how long have we been talking about that? We said almost 2 years ago, back when COVID hit and we were talking about all these championships, why, if you're Southern Miss, why, if you're Tulane, why, if you're Boise, are you even trying to stay in this? You're not going to be competitive. Why wouldn't you want to break off and play for your own championship? My Lord, we'll watch the USFL, right? I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch a lower Division One.
It's not even competitive because Boise State has proven, okay, on a one-off we can beat a Georgia.
But consistently over time.
It's consistently, and the fact that nobody really wants to watch them.
Well,
guys, think about your powerhouses in basketball and how they are in football. They're not Indiana. Not very good football. They have one good year. Duke, never good in football. Competitive and never really good.
Gonzaga doesn't have a football team.
I'm sorry?
Gonzaga doesn't even have a football team.
Neither does Butler.
Gonzaga doesn't have a football team, so there you go, right there. So, but that's my whole point. Now, I just think, guys, that as long as Harson's left in place, and I know it just sounds like a broken record, I realize that, but I just think this is headed in a bad direction, and it could dig Auburn in a hole, their football program in a hole that's going to be rough to get out of. And here's a guy that says he's admitted he's still learning on the job. You don't take a job down here from Idaho to learn on the job. You don't come to the SEC to learn. I've talked to guys I know that made it to the big time, and they say you don't go to the NFL tryouts or NFL camps or the major leagues to get in shape. You better know what you're doing when you get there.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's all true. I mean we've talked about that too till we're blue in the face. I don't understand why you hire a guy that needs to come in and try to learn on the job. That's not the right thing. But on the flip side, I think Brian Harsin was pretty confident in, even though he was out west. It's a different.
I don't question Brian Harsin's coaching ability.
It's a different world. It's a different world from these coaches. The coaches are different. Coaches, when they have the success he's had, feel like they can take their philosophy and go somewhere else until they've proven otherwise. And that's what happened. He for half the year he proved like he pretty much belonged and had Auburn at number 12 in the country, and then obviously it fell apart on him, and this is what we're dealing with now. So
Brad, the Pittsburgh Pirates are in first place at one time.
And you're right, but he did.
Thanks, Terry.
Yep, he did have Auburn through 6 games sitting in a pretty good position.
I think Terry brings some good points, and I think it's easy to say, hey, look, I was thinking about Brian Harsin's losses while he was talking. The Iron Bowl obviously was close. The Texas A&M game was pretty close.
Right.
I mean, it was close. It was closer than the score indicated.
No, it was very close.
The bowl game was pretty close. The Mississippi State game
should have been a win.
It should have been a win.
South Carolina was close.
South Carolina was close, and it's just weird. But now, and so if you want to play that game, I think Terry's counter would then be, Auburn should have lost Georgia State.
We've done this 100 times.
Yeah, no, we've done it all.
We have. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not firing a guy after 1 year. I know they tried.
No,
I know they tried. But they made up a bunch of crap, which was tacky. I thought the whole thing was.
Did the president not come out in a very odd statement and say, we are investigating this? Yeah. Why would you publicly say that? Why wouldn't you just handle it internally and let the rumors be the rumors until you get a grasp on this? When they found out, apparently it was all a bunk. See, then you have to backtrack, and now it's really tough to do that. And I think that not only was Harsin already in trouble, like you said, because if you come here and you think, okay, I can out-scheme these guys, that's one thing. But in the SEC, if you ain't got the horses, you ain't winning.
No, you're not going to. And that's, to me, look, I understand a blown win sometimes and trying to get your feet on the ground. But the thing that's made everybody nervous from an Auburn standpoint is his inability to show right now that he can really sign a top-notch class to keep Auburn where they need to be in the top of the Western Division. I mean, that's the bottom line. So let's go to the phone lines.
Caller, you're on there. Go ahead.
Yeah, how you guys doing tonight?
What's going on, brother?
Oh, not much. Just hanging out, trying to stay cool. Hey, Luke, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
There was a couple of brothers, Brockmeyer. One of them's a center and one of them's a tackle.
Mm-hmm.
They still down there at Alabama?
They are.
They're from Texas. My son gets me one of those Texas high school things. That thing has 700 pages in it.
It's ridiculous.
They've got schools out there, just amazed me. I just wondered. I know one of them was a center and one of them was a tackle. And
That's right. They're both still there. They're twins, and their dad was a fixture in the NFL for God knows how
Played
long.
at Texas.
An interesting story. It was the Texas Legacies, but at the time they would have had to commit to Tom Herman, which they weren't doing. But interesting story. I ran into the Brockermeyer's mom at the national championship game, and she looked about my age, and she is pretty as a speckled puppy and couldn't be any nicer. And so I got a picture made with her and just said, hey,
of course you did.
I mean, of course I'm going to sneak up there and get a picture made with her. She was super, super nice. Couldn't have been any nicer. Just a great family.
Yeah, well, good deal. I just wondered about those boys. I read about them in the magazine and everything. Anyway,
they gonna play.
Y'all doing a good job as always, and y'all kind of just have a good evening. And I just wondered about those two boys. That's an odd question, but you got to know your enemy. You know that.
Yeah, that's right. You got to know them. I appreciate the phone call, buddy.
All right, talk to you.
See you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, you asked if they're going to play. Tommy was the more highly rated of the two. It hadn't come to fruition yet for him. And you would think last year would have been a great time because Alabama was struggling at time on the offensive line. So maybe this year he's able to break through.
Yeah, makes me wonder.
But boy, I'm telling you, at Nick Saban's Alabama, if you ain't broken through in a couple years, I mean, Mac Jones being the exception,
you probably ain't breaking through.
It's a problem.
Up against another break. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
You already know the power and reliability of a Mahindra tractor. Get ready to meet their ATV and UTV lines. Haul more and tow more. Do more. Reaching speeds up to 60 miles an hour. Models have a 12-inch ground clearance and the ability to haul up to 1,200 pounds. There's a Mahindra utility vehicle and a model specifically to get the job done. Test drive today at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. Serving Tallapoosa, Coosa, Clay, and Talladega counties. 256-392-3613.
Hi, I'm Scott Blake.
I'm Angie Richardson, and we are the loan team here at Movement Mortgage.
Whether you're a first-time home buyer or you've gone through the process before,
Our mission is to help you move forward with the purchase of your future plans. Call me at 256-397-2771.
or call me at 256-794-1003.
Scott Blake, NMLS number 527945. Angie Richardson, NMLS number 216556. Movement Mortgage supports equal housing opportunity, NMLS number 39179. For licensing information, please visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Hey guys, this is Nate Paz with Airport Motors.
I'm Connor Branch with Fairway Auto Brokers in Opelika, Alabama.
And this is your first ever Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz.
That's right, Lake Martin. Airport Motors and Fairway Auto Brokers is teaming up for the very first Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz. Make sure to check out either website for the very best selection of pre-owned luxury trucks, SUVs, and sedans in East Alabama. Get pre-approved in minutes online and make sure to use the keyword Summer Blitz in the comment section for $500 off internet price. That's keyword Summer Blitz.
Castelluccio Fine Italian Dining in downtown Alexander City is rapidly becoming the region standard for Italian cuisine, as well as hand-cut filet mignon, fresh Gulf seafood, and the area's best Italian import wine selection. We offer true old-world charm with unmatched hospitality. Like Castelluccio Fine Dining on Facebook to keep up with daily lunch and dinner specials. Also new, we offer catering for your family and small business, so call and order. Castelluccio, downtown Alexander City, where the only thing that rivals the flavor is the dining experience.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense.
Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and sunshine, heating, and air. It's going to be a really short segment to try to catch up. We had a couple phone calls, so wanted to make sure we got to those. Just real quick, we'll talk about Media Days preview. We'll talk about the SEC presidents talking about, hey, look, we're done with the expansion for a while. We'll just kind of start there. They're not going to go to 16 teams or beyond 16 teams. I know there was rumor of maybe an announcement coming out in Media Days here in about a week. Media Day starts next week, next Tuesday in Atlanta. There is no announcement of North Carolina and Florida State and Clemson and Virginia adding to the SEC, at least not right now.
Well, I'm going to tell you, if what I heard on the way over here is true, there ain't no way it's going to be that way for a little while. It's going to be harder for these ACC teams to get out of their agreement unless a bunch of them all leave at once. And so for that to happen, they've got to have some others that have agreements with the Big Ten or Pac-12 or whatever they're going to do. And, look, I still maintain that, see, adding Clemson sounds cool, right? Adding Clemson sounds like the thing to do. Clemson seems like an SEC school to me.
They are basically an SEC school.
They're right there. It'd be so cool. But see, it's not about their cultural fit anymore. Missouri isn't any more a cultural fit for us than a man in the moon. But Missouri adds this huge state and this huge market of St. Louis.
That's right.
And so that's why we have them here. And they've just decided we've
even had an SEC tournament up there already.
We'll come over here and take our lumps. Y'all keep giving us these big old checks that are going to get a lot bigger.
Right.
So Clemson makes sense from a regional, cultural standpoint, but so does West Virginia. We all burn couches. West Virginia burns couches. That's right up our alley.
It's right on top.
It's not going to happen because West Virginia doesn't bring enough to the table.
No.
I don't think Florida State brings enough to the table. Why would we want Florida State when we already have Florida? And if we're going to do somebody else in Florida, let's go get Miami. Or let's get Central Florida. And as crazy as that sounds, let's go get Central Florida or South Florida. Let's get Tampa.
Bigger.
Or Central Florida is one of the biggest schools in the country.
Like 50 to 60,000 students.
Let's get what does Tallahassee do for us? Now, you can say, well, Florida State's got all this tradition. They do from about 1980 to about 2003 or whatever it is. Other than that, they don't really have a rich history. And what do they and I know in 2013 they won the title. But what exactly do they bring to the table? They don't bring a lot of new eyeballs. And that's what the whole thing is about.
It is all about the exposure, what you bring to the table, and it's not about name anymore. You know, those names 20 years ago, 15 years ago, probably very lucrative, not carrying as much weight anymore. So up against another break. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
You don't have to ask who, what, or why. Who's Diner is the go-to place for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Conveniently located at the corner of Highway 22 and 280 in Alex City, Who's Diner offers the best meals and the best deals in town. Try our fresh, made-from-scratch pancakes, chicken salad, Philly cheesesteak, or the Who Burger. It doesn't get any better than who? Who's Diner, of course, on the corner of Highway 22 and 280. Who's hungry?
Fast, fresh, and friendly. That's the Allen Brew Market mission to our customers on the go. Allen Brew Markets of Talladega County fuel your vehicle and you with the best coffee, drinks, snacks, and food, so you can get your day on the fast track. Allen Brew Markets are always convenient with Sylacauga locations on Main Avenue, Highway 280, and Old Birmingham Highway. Allen Brew Markets has everything for the family on the go, and we're always brewing up great specials. Fast, fresh, and friendly. Our guarantee to you.
The same professionals you've trusted with your urgent care is now your primary health provider. Main Street Family Care. We provide annual physical exams as well as monitoring health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. All major insurances accepted, Medicaid, Medicare, and have self-pay options to accommodate everyone. See us in Alex City, just across from Walmart. Your care is our primary concern.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Why is Sarah Automotive Group on Highway 280 in Silicaca the place for the best deals on your new ride? 3 compelling reasons. 1. With 3 full new car dealers on one lot, you get the best in comparison and incentives on Fords, Hondas, and Nissans. Unmatched selection. 2. Sarah pays over market value for your trade to maintain East Central Alabama's best pre-owned vehicle selection and sale. And 3. The Sarah Automotive price won't be beat and delivers lower payments and huge value on your next buy. Shop online or on Highway 280 in Silicaca.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Sunshine, heating, and air. Just a few minutes left here in hour number 1. We appreciate all the calls and everybody commenting, 256-234-6221. To kind of go back to what we were talking about, just to kind of give you an idea, potential future moves on the expansion front could change that need. 2 SEC sources say, but conference presidents believe the SEC is positioned well for the future growth of college football. I don't see any expansion move as threatening to us. One SEC source told Saturday Down South, coming off their site, said when asked if Notre Dame to the Big Ten would be a threatening move, the SEC source said, why? I'll put our product versus anyone's product. So we're going to just add schools to add schools. There's no value in that. So to kind of go along with what we're saying, I mean, really, the SEC is going out and cherry-picking who they want, and they're strategic in why they're doing it. They're not just going out grabbing names. Now, the Big Ten was calculated in what they did with USC and UCLA grabbing that market.
It's actually the other way around. USC and UCLA called the Big Ten, apparently. And this came together quick. This wasn't something the Big Ten was like, you know, that obviously I think in the past the Big Ten's put out feelers towards them, and they were like, no, we're staying together. And I think USC and UCLA looked around and goes, you know, this is why it was so infuriating to me to always listen to Bill Walton when he would do, like, the Conference of Champions. I'm like, dude, the Pac-12 is a sack of grits. And if nobody is worried about Oregon State.
Right.
And God bless you.
Did you see where Phil Knight came out and said about Oregon? He's like, they ain't going to the Big 12. If they go anywhere, they're going to the Big 10 or SEC.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already jockeying, and, of course, they'll do what he tells them to do.
Well, and it would make sense to me that it makes sense that the Big Ten add 2 more teams out there so that they soften the – number one, they could get big markets in Oregon and Washington, and they could – and in Northern California in a sense, and also soften the blow of travel for some of these, because I don't know exactly what the mileage difference is. I know it's a long way from L.A. to Eugene, Oregon, but it ain't as long as from L.A. to
Wisconsin.
Rutgers.
Yeah, well, Rutgers.
Piscataway.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, I mean, you know, and again, it's going to be very difficult. Everybody keeps talking about what are the tennis matches going to be like. I mean, how do you tell a tennis team on a Wednesday to go?
What is about to happen with all these other sports? And I'm talking anything other than football, including basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, tennis, golf, whatever it is. What's about to happen? Because we all tend to think in the world of college football, we tend to think that and that only, and okay, this will work here, but we're not talking about all the other sports that are at these colleges. How does that affect them?
Well, think about it. This is what I thought about the other day. Even when, you know, yeah, we saw sometimes like in 2012 when Auburn was at the bottom. I mean, there were some empty stadiums that you're in there. But for the most part, even at some of the bad places, with the glaring exception of Vanderbilt, you know, a football weekend is an event. There's only so many of them. You got maybe 7 or 8 home games, and so you got 7 or 8 weeks, and you probably can't make a couple of those. So you really got about 4 or 5 games. Even diehards go to at home, right? So it's an event. And so we can excuse, like, okay, we got to take off a little bit early Friday and Sunday we may skip church or whatever. But it's hard to do that with any of these other sports. Like a basketball game is fun. Auburn, Kentucky this past year was electric. But it's not something that anybody's going to really remember outside of an Auburn fan that went to the game.
Right.
Alabama Baylor was electric and fun. It's not something anybody's going to talk about next year. It's just not.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is it's not as much of an event. The softball is now when the Final Four comes around, that's an event.
Right.
But see, that's football.
But
in
college football is almost
every weekend.
That's right.
And here's the other thing, Brett, is that we're going to get the big boys have looked around and said, why do they've heard the cries of we need a chance, and they kept saying, no, you don't need a chance, we're doing all the hard work. And everybody's like, no, we need a chance. And they said, I got an idea. How about not only do you not deserve a chance, you don't deserve any of this money I'm creating for the sport that you get a big piece of.
Right.
Now you can say, how does Alabama directly pay Mercer or any of these other teams, or Auburn playing Mercer? See, if you make it where you just have 2 super conferences or 4 super conferences or whatever they end up with,
it cuts all them out.
They keep all that money themselves.
That's what I'm saying, and then there is no more of that going to those schools. Hey, I do want to bring this up. Texas, and we just talked about, I think, several times over the last couple months about where money is being funneled in college football, and it's not really going to be funneled to stadium expansion and stuff like that. Well, crap, Texas A&M just announced a massive expansion to 150,000 people. I'm 99% sure that they just talked about upping their stadium and making it even bigger. And I'm like, that's, to me, total opposite of what everybody else is trying to do.
Well, I can tell you this. I know Alabama is going to reduce seating capacity a little bit, and I want them to. I think that's the way it should be.
Auburn's going to do more of the plaza stuff on the ground level, where you take some of the bottom seats out, and there'd be more of a club level where you go inside and then you can come out to like a patio type area in the end zone.
Now I'm going to tell you, when I went to I know they got that in Atlanta, but when I went to Indianapolis, we had some passes for the championship game this past year. And I went down there, and it was really cool. Now you can't see the game as well.
No, but you're going to be right opposite of the big jumbotron.
And if you're just there for socializing, and you're not like me, keeping up with stats and memorizing numbers.
Right. If you're just going for the event.
If you're going to see other people, I'm going for the game.
Yeah, that's right.
But if you're going just to hang out, which a lot of people at these games do, they just go because they're like, hey, it's going to be on TV, and I look pretty, and I want to get on TV.
That's it.
So be it. I mean, it's just you keep cutting out the diehards, though.
Yeah.
And you hate to see that because it will mean – it's like an NFL game. It is kind of funny at the beginning of a Buffalo game when you see people jumping on those folding tables. But for the most part, when you look in an NFL game, they don't have as many people in the stands.
Well, no, what you do –
they don't have as many passionate people.
I've been to several NFL games, different stadiums and whatnot. And, in college, you're in the stands 30, 45 minutes before the game, because all the pregame festivities, everything, you want to be involved in the experience. NFL, I mean, you get there in 5 minutes before kickoff, and then kickoff, you looking around like, dang, anybody coming? And then by the middle part of the first quarter, it's pretty much filled in. But people don't give a crap, man. They just drift in, and they're like, I ain't in no hurry to get in there.
Well, and seeing it's all so cookie cutter to me. Look, I love watching the NFL. It is the most popular sport in this country by a long shot.
Right.
And I love watching it, but I love it for the other stuff, too. I love it now because Alabama has so many alums in there. I love it to play fantasy football. You can gamble on it. You can just keeping up with the stats is kind of fun, and there's so much coverage.
Right.
There's nothing you can't get your hands on. But it is kind of cookie cutter.
Everything kicks off right at noon.
That's what
then at 3:30.
I'm so worried that's where college football is headed. And everybody has always wanted all this parity. Well, we're about to get it. I hope you love the NFL because that's what it is.
You're going to watch NFL on Saturday and Sunday.
That's right.
And that's basically what you're going to be dealt. So in 2002, the SEC distributed $95.7 million in media rights revenue to its 12 schools. In 2022, that number was $777.8 million to 14 schools.
And a bargain, Brett.
That's 55. That's $55.5 million per school.
They should have all gotten about double that, probably. Now, you can argue, should Vanderbilt actually, because see, that is sort of BS on this. Again, there are probably some Vandy fans watching,
but Vanderbilt doesn't pull their weight.
Vandy doesn't reinvest. They don't tap into resources. They don't really promote. You want to talk about not promoting? I went to that Bama game where the Vandy offensive lineman said, "You're next, Bama."
Right.
It was all crimson. There were some gold scattered in places.
Yeah.
And that was the rare CBS Vandy game, and Alabama beat their brakes off.
No.
Now, what I'm saying is, you look, Kentucky. I'm like, Kentucky, you deserve your check. Missouri, you don't necessarily deserve it, but you bring so much of a market, we're going to take care of you. Nashville is a melting pot. Nashville is Atlanta now. It's a melting pot of different schools, and people may kill me for this. I wish we could get Vandy out and put Clemson in. I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think nobody would argue from an athletic standpoint on that. I mean,
we're all going to this competitive NFL structure, where every week anybody can really beat anybody.
Right.
Versus, now, there's about 8 teams that they ain't gonna be a drop.
No, no doubt about it. It's going to be interesting, but anyway, I mean, look at that. In 20 years, it went from 95.7 to $777 million. That's crazy. Up against the top of the hour break. Stay tuned. 1 hour left right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your express way to saving.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
You want the best opportunity to be successful in life. You deserve that opportunity. Well, you just happens to be in our motto, central to you, central to your success. Your future is right now. Don't wait. Make your dreams a reality by enrolling at Central Alabama Community College. Register today at cacc.edu.
At Glenn Smith in Opelika, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary. Check out these hot July offers on powerful full-size Chevy and GMC trucks. The Chevy Silverado discounted up to $6,500 off. Or the GMC Sierra $5,000 off. Plus, get financing as low as 0% on several models. New inventory is arriving daily.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the ground or on the way. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Hour number 2 here on this Tuesday night. Give us a call, 234-6221 to be part of the program. You can comment, give us some questions, any thoughts that you have on Facebook Live if you'd like to comment that way as well. Media Days coming up. Luke, you might be going over to Atlanta next week for Media Days. Media Days used to be, and I think we've talked about this the last couple of years, where the Spurriers and the Fulmers and people would make comments. It was kind of spiced up. One guy would say something, might stir up a media storm, whatever. And it's really just a formality now because social media and everything, it just has us so up to date by the second. The Media Days is just old news.
You don't really need
it's just old news, but it's a tradition.
It's a tradition, and I think the SEC will keep it going. I mean, look, I'm excited to go, but there is part of me that's like, I just don't know about dealing with the crowd and whatever.
Right.
I'll get to go and see some folks, and that's great. But I think that we just don't need it anymore. Like you said, it's every day. If there's news, it used to be there would be some news coming out of media.
Right.
They'd tell you, okay, so and so's not even on the roster anymore. Wow, we didn't.
Well, we already know that.
You know who's on the roster right now. You already know the numbers. You know the stats. You know everything about them. I think it's.
I think it gives maybe an opportunity to some reporters, some news outlets to get some one-on-ones with some guys.
It's symbolic.
I think that's kind of what it is. Hey, but look, just like every year, the media predicts the order of finish. They rarely get it right. It's kind of crazy. It's wild to see how they miss it a lot of times. But anyway, how will the media predict the order of finish? Not what we think, but what will the media predict, Luke? Coming up this week at the end on Thursday, Auburn actually closes out Media Days on the final day. Doesn't Alabama go on Tuesday?
They go on Tuesday.
They go on Tuesday. So,
now, actually, you mentioned the missing it. I was kind of stunned. I can pull up. I was sent all this information to prepare, and it said that. All right. So going back now, I don't know if they've only had media days since '92, but this only goes back to '92. Maybe they've only
how many times have they predicted it right?
Okay, well, they do get kind of closer than I thought.
Yeah.
So they had, and I'm just going to run these down very quickly. Florida in '92 was projected. They ended up losing to Alabama in a close one. Alabama was projected. The next year they ended up losing to Florida.
That's right.
So then Florida was projected and won the next 2 years. Tennessee was projected. They second in the East in '96. '97 it was Florida. They were second in the East. '98 was Florida. They were second in the East again.
So they've missed it. What? Like 5 or 6 out of the first.
There's this big group in here where they missed it a bunch. Tennessee in '99, of course, it was Alabama. 2000 Alabama, of course, it was Florida. 2001 they picked Florida. I think LSU won it that year. 2002, they picked Tennessee. They finished third in the East. 2003, they picked Auburn, finished third in the West. 2004, they picked Georgia. They finished second in the East. 2005, they picked Tennessee. They finished fifth in the East.
Good God.
So going down, the next time they actually picked it and won right was 2007 with LSU. And then in 2008, but it was a close one with Alabama again. 2009, they picked Florida again, and they lost Alabama championship game. So they're getting better.
Getting close.
And getting better. Then they pick Alabama in 10, and they, of course, Auburn wins it and pick Alabama in 11. And Alabama doesn't win it. People forget that. They even go to the championship game.
That's right.
2012, they pick LSU, and, of course, it was Alabama. 13, they pick Alabama. Of course, it was Auburn. 14, Alabama, and that was right.
So they never get it right.
Well, it's closer. What I'm saying is
they're right
closer.
on the cusp.
Yeah, but 2014, they picked Alabama, got it right. 2015, they picked Auburn. Auburn finished 7th in the West. I did not remember it that way. But so the next, from 16 to 21, the next 6 years, every year they pick Alabama.
Yep.
In 16, they got it right. In 17, they got it right. In 18, they got it right. In 19, Alabama finished second in the West. In 20, obviously, they got it right. And in 21, they got it right. So but it's kind of unfair because they got Nick Saban's Alabama they're predicting.
Right, right. Well, like I said, what will they pick this year? And I guess that's kind of where we'll kind of start. We'll start in the East. We'll start with that group. Who do they have finishing last? We all know it's Vanderbilt. It's Vanderbilt. All right, who's going to be next at 6?
You know, I'm going to say, boy, I'm probably going to put. I was going to say South Carolina, but I might put Missouri there.
I'm going to go. Well, not what you're going to put. What the media is going to put.
Oh, okay. What the media is going to put.
It's not you.
Yeah.
Who's the media?
I'll get to vote on it.
I know you will.
Yeah, I would say South Carolina is probably where they'll go. But they do
South
have
Carolina.
Spencer Rattler
Yeah,
there now.
I mean, I'm probably going to go with Missouri.
Yeah, I think that's a toss-up.
All right, so 5, 6, Missouri, South Carolina. All right, who's 4? Florida?
I think most people are going to go with
Florida.
Kentucky. I think that's where it may end up just because I think some of these voters get lazy. I think Kentucky could finish second this thing. But I think that Kentucky's probably what's going to end up being projected.
Okay, so
and then
Kentucky
I'll go
4,
Florida, Tennessee, Georgia.
So a lot of love for Tennessee coming in.
Well, Tennessee's they've got a good team. Hendon Hooker's very good. And they've got some. They don't have the most arduous schedule in the world.
No.
I mean, they do play Alabama and Georgia, but they play them every year, and they go to Pittsburgh, but it's after Pittsburgh it loses their top quarterback and loses Jordan Addison. So I feel like they can win that game.
All right, so let's slide over to the West. The SEC media, who will they put in order? And starting at 7, who will be 7?
Boy, I've seen Auburn pick 7.
Oh, I
don't think they will be picked 7th in this. I just don't think the SEC writers have it in them to put them there. Although you could make the argument that's where it needs to be, because who are you going to put there? You're going to put Ole Miss there with Lane Kiffin, who went 10-2 last year? You're not going to put there, or 10-3 or whatever.
Mississippi State, not going to.
But
I've seen them as high as 2.
I know they bring back 18 starters. So I'm going to go with Ole Miss.
No. I think Auburn will be voted dead last. But with all the tumultuous stuff.
I'm going to say 6. I just don't think people are going to have the guts to put Auburn last.
I think it'll be Auburn, then Ole Miss, and then.
I'm going to flip-flop them.
Okay.
I'll flip-flop.
Okay. 5. Who will be 5? LSU?
Yeah, I mean.
Isn't that crazy to see Auburn and LSU?
Yeah, but I'm going to say Mississippi State is where that's going to fall.
Really?
I'm not going to put them there, but I think that's where some people are going to put them. So I think that's where the majority will. So then I think it'll be LSU, and then I think you see Arkansas, A&M, Bama.
Arkansas, A&M, and Bama. So
I think there's going to be a lot of love for Arkansas.
What a wild mix-up, though. Can you ever remember it being this wide open? What's the worst Alabama could finish this year?
Well, I mean, they got road games at Arkansas. They've got a home game with A&M. A lot of people think will be very good. They got a road game at Tennessee.
What's the worst Alabama's finished under Nick Saban outside of 07?
Oh, 10-3 in 2010.
I'm talking about the in the West. Where did they finish? Second,
third.
The
worst
they finished.
Got to be second.
Second.
It's got to be. Second.
I don't think they finished third. Have they?
I don't remember it.
Not under.
Unless they did. Now wait a minute. In 2010, they might have, because 2010 Auburn obviously won the West. I think LSU came in second that year.
Okay, so
they would have had tiebreaker, so it would have been third that year.
Okay. All right. Up against another break. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz right after this.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
Okay, somebody's not wearing their seatbelt.
I don't wear seatbelts. Might wrinkle my shirt.
That's okay. I'm sure they can iron it before the funeral.
What funeral?
Yours. Almost 70% of people who die in car crashes aren't wearing a seatbelt.
Okay. There. You happy?
Just happy to be alive.
Seatbelts. It's hard to live without them. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus, making new friends, mastering a new skill, reaching a personal goal. The encore performance, the first date, the internship, And now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours, Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
At Glenn Smith in Opelika, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary. Check out these Hot July offers on powerful full-size Chevy and GMC trucks. The Chevy Silverado discounted up to $6,500 off. Or the GMC Sierra $5,000 off. Plus, get financing as low as 0% on several models. New inventory is arriving daily.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the ground or on the way. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR's Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. 45 minutes left in tonight's show. Most valuable SEC player for each team in the last decade, as predicted by Saturday Down South. All right, so you and I will see if we agree or disagree with this pick, and if we disagree, who would our choice be? So we'll start with Vanderbilt. Jordan Matthews, wide receiver, most valuable player in the last decade for Vanderbilt.
I mean, that's got to be a
Pretty doggone
no-brainer,
good,
right? I mean,
man.
he either owns or is very close to owning several SEC records.
Right.
He's from Birmingham.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one.
I
Maybe
agree.
the easiest one on the list.
I agree.
Well, it's close.
Well, the next one's pretty easy. Texas A&M quarterback Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, again,
I think that's pretty no-brainer.
You could make a case for Myles Garrett. He certainly has had more NFL success. But if you're just talking about who had more impact on their team and maybe even their culture, I think it's
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
Tennessee defensive end Derek Barnett.
God, that is a sad testament.
But it's
Derek
about
Barnett,
the
I
truth.
love him.
It's about the
I know.
truth, though.
I
isn't it?
love Derek Barnett. I want to say that. He's had a good NFL career, but boy, Derek Barnett, he's not going to go down as one of the all SEC greats. And Tennessee over the last 10 years, it tells you about
They've
where
been putrid. So I'm going to
if
agree
Derek
with that.
Barnett had been at Vanderbilt, you go, oh, this is now it's tough between him and Jordan Matthews.
Right.
But at Tennessee, you're like, wow. But
Just haven't had much to pick from. South Carolina, Jadeveon Clowney.
yeah, I mean, again,
I think that's a
number one
no-brainer.
pick in the draft.
Right.
Brought a lot of
The hit
Marcus
against-
Lattimore probably would have been it.
He would have been right there. Stephen Garcia.
Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah, Alshon
conversation.
Jeffrey pretty doggone good.
But it's
not
Clowney.
topping
No,
Jadeveon
it's
Clowney.
easy.
All right, Ole Miss, Matt Corral. Really? I mean, you
Well-
got some great receivers, man.
Yeah, but you
think
know-
about the receivers that came through.
Yeah, Laquan Treadwell,
Metcalf.
DK Metcalf. But I mean, then the one at Tennessee now, he's not. He's with Philadelphia now.
Right.
Whose name escapes me? A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown.
Both great, but
better than Matt Corral.
I would say, relative to their talent, they underachieved at Ole Miss. And I think Matt Corral.
What about Robert Kimdichie?
Oh, he definitely underachieved. He underachieved at Ole Miss. He has underachieved in the pros.
So Matt Corral, you think?
I think Matt Corral's probably the answer.
And, you know, he was so sporadic until this last year.
Yeah, he was.
I mean-
If he had not had this year,
I don't think he would have
He
been.
wouldn't
I
be in
would
the
have
discussion.
probably gone with one of the two receivers. Probably Laquan Treadwell is my pick.
boy, yeah.
Laquan Treadwell probably. Now, you're right. AJ and DK both underachieved. They both are specimens. They're both great NFL players. We watched them and called them in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. But Laquan Treadwell was the man when he stepped on campus.
Yeah, he was a badass.
You know, he was good. So I'm probably going to go with Laquan Treadwell over over Matt Corral. Mississippi State, Dak Prescott. I
That's
mean, it's a no-brainer
But
there.
Nobody else to even consider, really.
No, Missouri, Drew Lock.
again, tell me who else. They had a couple of bookend defensive
Well,
ends.
who was the receiver for them? That was so good.
That played well in the SEC title game against Auburn, but he was from Indianapolis.
He was a 5-star,
and he ended up flaming out in the pros.
He had a three-word name.
I can't remember, but yeah.
Right
anyway, I think this is Drew Lock. Yeah.
So Drew Lock there.
Drew Lock was on that team too. I mean, he was one of the.
Now LSU loaded. Last 10 years, most valuable player, they've got Joe Burrow.
Well, yeah. You could say Leonard Fournette, but I think Joe Burrow did lead them to a national championship. You could say
what about
Jamar Smith?
Yeah.
Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase. You could say Jamar Chase.
What about the
but I mean, Jamar Chase didn't win.
What about the defensive back that was? They've had multiple defensive backs. They've had Stingley and
they've had a ton to choose from.
But I think overall, if you're gonna pick, you're gonna go Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow won the Heisman. He went undefeated. He went number 1 in the draft. He embraced LSU. He comes up with the Burrow with the EAUX on the back.
Right.
Yeah, he's Joe Burrow.
Kentucky, Josh Allen, not the Josh Allen for the Buffalo Bills.
But
outside linebacker Josh Allen.
Who was awesome. And now Josh Allen, you could make the argument is one of the top 50 to 75 SEC players of all time. He was really good, and he's been good in the pros.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's easy. Yeah.
All right, Georgia. Who do you think they've got?
Boy,
I want to see if you can guess.
Let me think on it for a second. I mean, Matt Stafford would have been gone. Aaron Murray.
You probably agree when you call the name.
Gurley?
Nick Chubb. I'm gonna say I probably have to agree with that. I mean, they've had some really good running backs. I mean, Sony Michel, Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I would probably go with go with Aaron Murray though. Aaron Murray owns a lot of SEC records, and look, Aaron Murray had them on the doorstep of a national championship.
Oh, he did, and they go on and win one if they end up beating Alabama.
If they beat Alabama, but
yeah, no doubt. All right, so Florida.
Well, let me think. In the last 10 years, it's a little bit harder to choose from this group.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go opposite of or different than what they've got.
Well, who do they have?
Kyle Trask.
God.
I'm going with Kyle Pitts.
Wow.
I'm going with Pitts.
Well, Trask had a great year with Pitts, but I mean they.
But I'm going with Pitts.
I think Pitts obviously is going to end up having a better, brighter future. I think. But yeah, I could go Pitts there too because he was sort of. I mean, he was a tight end.
Right. I thought he was the guy that made that team. Auburn. Who do you think they have in the last decade?
In the last decade, I mean, look, I mean, it's going to be somebody from that 2013 team. It's got to be. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess you're going to say Nick Marshall.
That's who it is.
Yeah.
I would probably side with that.
I mean, if you wanted to say
Trey Mason was going to be
Trey Mason was actually SEC player of the year.
Trey Mason was going to be my next choice.
And he had 300-something yards.
But Nick Marshall really kind of stirred the drink.
Yeah, I agree. I would probably go with that too. And frankly, I don't know who else you could go with, Brett.
I don't either. That's a good point. I mean,
Kerryon Johnson?
Yeah, possibly.
But
possibly.
He didn't win an SEC.
Jarrett Stidham.
You wouldn't go with Jarrett Stidham.
I'm just saying, I'm naming some guys that would be in the discussion.
Yeah, I think, okay. I'm going Nick Marshall, too. I'd probably have
Kerryon would probably be second for me.
No, I might still have Trey second, and then Kerryon.
Yeah, those are two pretty good running backs.
I think that's probably fair.
All right, so Arkansas has Treylon Burks.
Well, I mean, he was a dude now. Because Arkansas had some really lean years in there.
They haven't been Martha Dern.
No, they hadn't done anything in a while. So I think Treylon Burks has got to be your answer. And boy, he's going to be good in the pros. I believe that. Right. He's got hands that can grip a globe. So yeah, I'd go Burks too.
Okay, so Alabama, who would you pick now? A bunch to pick from.
All right,
obviously.
I saw who they had.
Okay,
I didn't see the others.
Cheated,
I saw that. No, I didn't cheat. I just saw it.
You glanced it.
And I thought this one was so dumb that I didn't want to look at the others. They have Jalen Hurts.
They do have Jalen Hurts.
I'm going, guys, hang on a second. First of all, Jalen Hurts. Now, granted, I'm not going to blame the game on him, but the national championship game, the two national championship games he started in, he lost one and he was yanked from another.
Right.
He did not win a Heisman. I love Jalen Hurts. Want him to succeed forever, and considering him an Alabama.
How do you not
player.
How do you not pick Devontae Smith?
How do you not pick Devontae Smith? And if you don't pick Devontae Smith, you're like, I'm not picking Devontae Smith. Okay, then how do you not pick Derrick Henry, who led his team to Heisman, led his team to a national championship?
Yeah.
I'm
not picking Jalen Hurts.
Not only that, see, Devontae Smith and Henry each had monster games in the national championship.
Right.
Like, Henry ended up with 3 touchdowns, over 150 yards, started the game on a big 50-yard run. Devontae Smith, if he hadn't gotten hurt early in the second quarter, early in the third, would have set every single wide receiving record you can possibly set in a national championship game. So, and he still had a monster game. So how do you put Jalen Hurts there? That's only for clicks. That's the only reason you put that there, so people.
I just really think I think they're off by 3 or 4 players.
Well, I mean, honestly,
when you say Tua over him too,
I would put Tua over him. I mean, Tua came in and had one of the most iconic.
I know he
was
hampered with it. I know he was hampered with injuries.
He still came in.
I would almost say Mac Jones.
I could easily put Najee Harris. I could put.
But this is the most important.
Jalen
player.
Waddle.
Yeah, most important player would have to be either Derrick Henry,
Bryce Young, Will Anderson.
I know, but I would have to go with either one of the two.
I'm taking Devontae Smith because he changed everything.
I think he did.
But if somebody told me it's King Henry, I'd say I buy that.
Yeah,
I could buy that.
Yep. Up against another break. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz right after this.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA. Now is the best time to sell your current home, as it's a seller's market, meaning that on average you can get up to 96% of your asking price. Who's the most aggressive and most experienced to help you sell your home?
Hi, I'm Rhonda Gaskins, broker Century 21 Lake Area Realty in the Lake Martin area. We are getting a 96% return on our listing price, the sales price in this area. Call me today and let me go to work for you. 256-749-3644.
L&G Ad Agency is the go-to vendor for all your digital and print marketing needs. We have in-house production for all projects, including graphic design, web design, social media marketing, videography, and print marketing. Our video production is up to industry standard with modern 4K cameras and drone capabilities. We pride ourselves in client-committed relationships, and every project is personalized to your needs. Visit lmgadagency.com for a free quote today. Let us tell your story.
GillsOpelika.info. Get pre-approved in minutes online at GillsOpelika.info for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Gills Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Again, thanks to them for all of their support. Thanks to all of our sponsors that you see across the bottom of the screen for all their support of our programming. It allows us to do this every single week to bring you this program. Love the last part of the show because we get to have a little bit of fun, kind of do some different stuff. From the files of, I never thought I would see the day. Okay, so Auburn is the winningest basketball program in the SEC over the last 5 years with 122 wins.
So what I'm trying to do quick math here. That's 2 and then 22. So about 24 wins a year.
Yeah.
And they had one stinky season in there.
I think, 2020 was stinky.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's pretty impressive.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty impressive what Bruce Pearl's done.
Well,
so.
and it's also, I mean, like the first thing I think about is what's happening in Kentucky? I mean, like this is your bag,
well,
baby.
I'm going to tell you, John Calipari's underachieving, Luke, with what he's put. I mean, there was a stat somewhere, an old stat sheet after they took an early exit in the NCAA tournament of how really poorly he has done in the last 4 or 5 years with the type of players he's been able to recruit. I mean, it is crazy what he's not been able to do. But I think his buyout is something ridiculous, like 70
million.
60, 70 million. Auburn is the okay.
Okay,
All
never mind. I see now where he did the dead or alive. Like you asked me, I asked you something. I have the cheat sheet.
And I've got the cheat sheet. There we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
now it's coming,
That's a little.
It's all coming back.
A little preview to no pun intended for one guy that's on here. NBA Summer League. Never thought I'd see the day that we'd have an NBA summer. You like it? Do you care? It gets the rookies. It gives us an early.
It
view
does,
of the
but they
rookies.
had Banchero came out, had a good game. They shut him down.
They shut him down.
You know, you saw. I tell you something that's kind of interesting. Trendon Watford's back in it. You know, and it's fun. I think Herb Jones actually they're watching him. If you remember, I think Trendon and Herb had a thing. Where they were sort of back. Now they're really good friends, but I think Trendon talked a lot of trash to him when they played and said something like, you know, I'll be in the NBA, you'll be in Europe or something. And it's funny now to see Herb Jones, you know, who's on the, you know, at least in the discussion for NBA Rookie of the Year, and Trendon hadn't been in the NBA yet, really. Obviously Jabari Smith's had a couple of games. He's got 3 or 4 games under his belt. He's been pretty good. He's been solid. There hadn't been a spectacular.
He struggled a little bit shooting the ball from outside.
There hadn't been a spectacular.
They play. He's played against Chet and played against Banchero.
Yeah, I was going to say Chet did have a couple of spectacular moments. In fact,
but he has not.
Yeah, Kevin Durant tweeted him like, "I see you cooking 7 or whatever he said."
Yeah.
J.D. Davison
he needs to cook and needs to eat. God Almighty.
J.D. Davison had a good game, and then he had a mediocre game, and I don't know what else he's done. Keon Ellis and J.T. Thor have both hit game winners so far.
J.T. Thor hit one the other night.
So I mean, I've moderately kept up with it, but it hadn't been so intriguing to me. Like I'm going to watch.
Well, I'll be honest with you. When I got the alert that Jabari was playing Chet the other night and watched a little bit on ESPN2, man, it was so boring.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm like, okay.
Well, there's a lot of ball hogging going on.
Yeah, and it just wasn't very intriguing. Brittany Griner in jail in Russia pled guilty of bringing marijuana into the country. Should more be done to expedite her release?
There's no question more should be done. This is a bad look for everybody involved. A bad look for her. Don't bring – somebody's got to be there to tell her, whatever her management team is, don't bring this kind of stuff into Russia. That being said, there's no reason she should be held this long. Her coach
it's just
in the WNBA,
and it's political grandstand.
Her coach in the WNBA has said if this were LeBron James, he'd certainly already be out. And there's no doubt that's right. There's no doubt that's right. And LeBron is, tweeted towards Biden, be sure to do something and whatever. Part of me is like, hey, probably one of the reasons.
Why don't he go do something?
One of the reasons this is getting worse.
Dennis Rodman would have.
One of the reasons this is getting worse is because people like LeBron are getting involved, which stirs up all this. And Russia, who has done a lot of questionable things lately, is probably saying, "Nah, this is our rule."
Well, now
She
they
didn't play
want
by our rules.
want a guy in return for her, a 25-year spy that's been held here in the United States, and the United States.
And it's not apples to oranges.
No, it's
but,
not.
But they have the leverage.
They absolutely have the leverage.
So, and again, I'm not saying that this is not justified at all. I wish that this is one of those things to me that this could have been handled if we as the public didn't know as much about it. But because we know as much and because it's so publicized, Russia's going to dig in even further.
Because
they're not going to fold.
It's a strength thing.
They would
That's right.
rather.
It's about showing strength.
But it's like the invasion of Ukraine. They would rather say, okay, yeah, this is a bad idea, but it's our idea, and that's what we're going with.
That's right.
And so that's why LeBron doesn't need to help with this. I think if LeBron wants to help with this, just write
Isn't that what his deal is, though? He thinks he is this superpower of all types of situations that he can just walk right in and fix everything. I mean, that's what he thinks he is.
Look, he's a billionaire now. He's just like everybody, all the other billionaires. They have massive egos. God bless them. LeBron earned his money.
Right.
Elon Musk earned his money. Richard Branson, they all earn their money, but they all, all you have to do is watch Shark Tank one time and go, I kind of like these people. In another way, I can't stand them.
That's right.
That's all you got to.
Right.
And LeBron is easy to dislike right now. He puts himself he gets involved with all these political stances. And
what about Ray Allen coming out, since we're talking about LeBron? Ray Allen stopping the kid at that, whatever that was. And,
I don't know.
And the guy was asking about being a GOAT or saying LeBron's a GOAT. And Ray Allen's like, he didn't even lead this category, and this category. And he's like, how can that guy be the GOAT, man? He said, you need to really think about what you're saying, and kind of walked off from him. And the kid's kind of like, whoa, and that kind of made headlines. But, I mean, Ray Allen, a teammate, and I haven't read the quote yet, but I think LeBron kind of took a shot back at Ray Allen. And I want to say, LeBron, you wouldn't have a ring if Ray Allen didn't hit a three in the corner.
Huge shot, yeah.
I mean, I'm serious. You were too busy throwing one off the top of the backboard, and you missed a shot so poorly that it kicked into the corner for Ray Allen to hit the three.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, so I just shut my mouth sometimes on that.
I don't think he can do it now. And again, it's sort of like.
But I thought Ray Allen, you would think, and I'm not saying they're not friends, but it was kind of like Ray Allen was bothered by, I'm sick of hearing the daggum LeBron James GOAT stuff.
Well, even friends can get tired of.
Well, Scottie Pippen got tired of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very obvious when this documentary came out and all this kind of stuff, and you know how close Jordan and Pippen were and how well they played together. And then Pippen was on a couple of talk shows and all this, and he kind of said some things. Hey, look, he wouldn't have been nothing without me, this, that, and the other. People want to feel their worth, you know?
John Morant came out and said, look,
I
would've cooked.
He cooked Jordan.
And look,
good luck. Buddy.
I think he would have certainly been fine. He ain't cooking.
He ain't cooking Michael Jordan.
No, just, again, people who didn't see Jordan don't know.
They have no idea.
They don't know.
I challenge them to go watch.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Now, and everybody's going to say, yeah, the game's changed and athleticism.
Yeah, it's a lot rougher back then.
Yeah.
Now they call this a little ticky-tack foul, and then they try to go back and review it to see if it's a technical. I mean, you could get punched in the face and shoved into the goal, and it was just a common foul.
Well, not only that, I mean, it's sort of like when you go back and say, a Pete Maravich or whatever wouldn't have been and at that time, you couldn't carry the ball. They called palming the ball.
That's exactly right.
In the NBA, how many times do you think they called palming this year? I mean, if I put the over-under at 9.5, wouldn't you take
I'm
the
going to
under?
say under. Nobody calls that.
And again.
And it's got to be like this, man. I mean, it's got to be like
again,
over the.
Fine, because it does make the game more entertaining. I'm just saying I can't stand it when people use the argument about the more athleticism. And I would say, yeah, but back then they also played by the rules.
Right.
So.
Yeah, no doubt. Up against another break. Stay tuned. A little Dead or Alive when we come back. Not Bon Jovi style, Brett and Luke style. Stay tuned.
Brubaker Motors in Montgomery is the largest and fastest growing used car dealership in the River region. You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker. It's better at Brubaker.com.
Brubaker, Brubaker.
You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker.
BREWBAKER. BREWBAKER.com.
It's
better at Brubaker.com.
At CNT Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
For almost 10 years, there's been the go-to place for tires and automotive repair, Right Tire. Right Tire sells all makes of tires for anyone's vehicle and anyone's budget, and with Right Tire, you always get the right prompt service with the right price. Right Tire also can handle all of your bumper-to-bumper automotive needs with certified brake service, alignment, oil changes, tune-ups, and so much more. So when you want tires and automotive done right, see Right Tire on West Fort Williams in the heart of Sylacauga. Right work, right price, every time.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus, making new friends, mastering a new skill, reaching a personal goal, the encore performance, the first date, the internship, and now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours, Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
Become a member of the Superior family. Superior GMC Cadillac, Superior Hyundai, or Superior Automotive Pre-Owned. Between our 3 dealers in East Central Alabama, we offer the superior selection and service for any buyer's needs. All with the personal touch of being locally family-owned and operated. Check out any of our dealers online, or our 3 great lots in Anniston on Quintard, or our pre-owned superstore in Pell City, and join the Superior family of value.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Do a little dead or alive here, and we'll alternate back and forth, and we'll kind of keep score and see where we land on this. So I've already looked at my list over here, and I'm kind of a little iffy on a couple of them. So, Luke, I'll go first. Your first up is Crosby, Stills, and Nash, dead or alive. Any of them dead? All of them alive?
Wait a minute. Yeah, they all. I mean, this has got to be a one or nothing, all or nothing, right?
It doesn't have to be.
Separate them.
Oh, yeah, it did.
Oh man, Crosby's dead.
Wrong.
Stills is dead.
No.
He's still dead.
They all 3 alive. Let me
Well,
just
see, I just told you if I done it the way.
Just stop. They all 3 alive. No, one could be dead. They all 3 ain't got to die at the same time because they were in the.
Yeah, but
they don't. Just because they sung in a group, don't mean they all died at the same time. Well, they're all 3 alive. So
okay, I would have gone alive if you had told me all 3 are one or the other. I would have said alive because I would have said Nash ain't dead.
All right, it's your turn.
All right, Fred Ward, who's in Remo.
Do you know who he was too?
I do know Fred Ward.
He was in Road Trip.
Yeah,
dad.
Yeah, and he was. Yeah, he was in a lot of stuff.
He has been a lot. I'm gonna say he's dead.
He is dead.
Wow, really? I just took a stab. Is it no pun intended?
Took a shot in the dark.
Took a shot in the dark. All right, Ivan Reitman.
He just died, I think, not too long ago.
He is dead.
Yeah.
So
I knew that one.
Okay. All right.
Now, see, you getting some easy ones.
Well, I mean,
Meatloaf.
and yeah, he's dead.
Dead as a hammer.
Well, I wouldn't do.
I mean, and it was a big deal.
It was a big deal. It was a big deal. All right, Animal. Let's see. Animal House. I'm reading off Ivan Reitman. Sugar Ray Leonard. Don't miss this.
Alive?
Yes.
Yeah. I
He's
was like,
not
I don't
dead.
remember it. I was like, if he was dead, it seems like it'd have been a
No,
bigger
he's
deal.
not dead, so he's alive.
Now, see, how can you get James Caan?
I don't know, but he's dead.
Dead as he just died yesterday.
I didn't pick him, man.
I know.
Did.
Liz Sheridan.
Yeah,
that's
for you, Liz
and
Sheridan.
that was Helen Seinfeld. This Morty's wife, and
yeah.
All right, she's alive, I think.
She is not alive.
Okay.
She's dead.
Well, if she, somebody better check on her then.
I think
okay.
you just did.
Mr. T.
He's alive.
Yeah, he's alive.
You had heard about
Hell,
it.
he's on commercials.
I know. He's alive. That's a
He's
no-brainer.
he's doing rent-to-own commercials.
I'm 4 for 4, by the way.
Oh, I know, because yours aren't doing commercials and died yesterday. You had the obituary hadn't even come out for James Caan yet.
All right, here we go. Barney Martin.
Well, I'm going to say he's alive now. One of them's alive.
He's dead as a
Damn, they both dead?
Have you gotten one right yet? You
got-
got Sugar Ray Leonard.
I got Ivan the right one.
You got 2 of them. So, all right, John. Who's next for me? Johnny Brown.
Johnny Brown, Bookman from Good Times, Buffalo Butt.
I'm gonna say he's dead.
He is dead.
Okay,
as a hammer.
Dead as a hammer. All right. So, Barney Martin. I just did that.
Yeah, we
one,
just
right?
did that one.
Bob Barker.
He's dead.
He is not dead.
How
He is
that
not
man
dead.
not dead? He's 2,065 years old. Did you find a Lazarus pit?
In my notes, he said alive, not a misprint.
Bob Barker was hosting the price. If Bob Barker was hosting it now during this inflation, he'd be like, that price can't be right.
All right, this jar of mayonnaise, $14.23. All right, here we go. Who's up for me now? Who is next?
Gilbert Gottfried.
I just said. Oh, did we not say Gilbert Gottfried already? Did I get as many as you?
Bro, you can't. He can't. I can't believe he didn't pick Kim Pritchard.
Good God. Gilbert Godfrey is dead.
Yes, he just died.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's been dead about a month.
I know.
He's not even cold.
All right, Dean Stockwell. Al on Quantum Leap. Did you watch Quantum Leap?
Yeah.
He's a cigar guy.
Yeah, he's been in some other stuff, too. I'm trying to think what movie he was in that I remember him from. He was always like some kind of snivelly, ratty little ball.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm going to say he's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah, okay.
All right. For me is who?
Richard's saying, and this one may be tougher. I'm not even going to look at the answer. I won't give it away.
I'm going to say he's alive.
He's barely alive. He's hanging in there.
He's barely alive.
He's hanging in
He's
there.
alive. Okay.
Yeah, now we might need to update it, but
that may have happened. All right, William Hurt.
I think he's alive.
No.
He dead?
Dead.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going for perfection, by the way.
I got you.
I've got 2 left. Howard Hessman.
Yeah, Johnny Fever.
I'm going to say he's dead.
He's dead. So, and then Todd Marinovich. Now, this is an interesting one because even if you say alive, I'm going to have him tested right now. But if you say dead, I'm going to have him tested right now.
I'm going to say he's alive. Is that right?
I think he's about comatose. He just came out. In fact, he just
There you go, Andy. I'm 100%.
He is in some kind of book where his dad. It's a book about like quarterback dads or something like that about how these
he had all kind of
these
stuff.
helicopter dads just push their kid, push them to be a quarterback, get them all this coaching, do all this stuff, and more often than not, it just turns out to be a sack full of nothing, and like you just burn them out. Marinovich was the original.
Yeah, I remember how highly touted out of USC he was.
And then the Raiders drafted him like way too early.
Very, very early. So, anyway, that was a lot of fun, and that's right up against the clock. So we're going to take a break. One final segment on Sports Blitz Live right after this.
So, you finally got the boat, ATV, or side-by-side of your dreams, huh? Then make it yours with marine-grade audio that'll provide crisp, high-quality sound that's loud enough to be heard, whether you're cruising on the lake or hitting a mud hole. Come see Steve at the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn, so you'll be ready to crank up the volume. Whoa, but wait, you don't have to pull out of the water and trailer it to Auburn. The Car Stereo Shop can handle all of your work at any one of the Lake Martin marinas.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
At Russell Medical, our transitional care unit is a great alternative to nursing home care after a medical or surgical hospital stay. Transitional care increases strength and endurance through skilled nursing and therapy programs to promote a safe return home. Enjoy on-site therapy, private rooms, an activity center, and more. Call Russell Medical today to see if our transitional care unit is the right care for you.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce. Because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
Final segment here on Sports Blitz Live. Just some couple things that we're kind of going down the list. Braves update 4-1. Adam Duvall just hits a blast in the 7th to increase the lead to 4-1. Judge rules blood alcohol test results allowed as evidence in case of Henry Ruggs.
Why wouldn't they be?
Absolutely.
They should be. And look, I'm a Ruggs fan. I think he's a good dude. I was cheering for him, but this was such a terrible decision.
Such a bad decision.
And see, this is what I hate. I can't stand it when people say, you know, a mistake is a mistake, a sin is a sin. No, there's levels. This is life altering for several people.
Yeah, this isn't a white lie.
This isn't just. Anyway, he's going to get punished. He should. I think his blood alcohol level should be a determinant of his time.
What's the end fate for Henry Ruggs, you think?
Well, I mean, I'm going to say he does at least 25 years. Wouldn't you say? I mean, I think he probably deserves it. I hate to say that because he's not even 25 years old.
It's a sad situation, but like you said, it's not just his life. He affected a lot of other people's too.
I mean, the woman burned to death.
I know, about bad decision. All right, Alabama coach Nick Saban believes college football is heading down a path of mega conferences. He was on a show podcast this past week,
with McElroy.
Right, and basically lamented the way the realignment has stripped the tradition associated with playing in the same conference. He kind of went on to say that he harked back to the Oklahoma-Nebraska series, which was discontinued when Nebraska left the Big 12 for the Big 10. He said, but I think, in quote, we're going to deal with it on a greater capacity than ever before because I think mega conferences are probably here to stay. Market share, there's a lot of that involved in why we're doing what we're doing. So, I mean, more of what we're talking about. Also said that he is concerned about the NIL And he said, you know, we don't have any guardrails of what we're doing right now. We have no restrictions on who can do what. Some people are going to be capable of doing certain things. Other people aren't going to be capable. But the bottom line is we lose competitive balance, which everything we've always done in college football is to maintain competitive balance. Same scholarship. Everyone had to play by the same rules, whether it was recruiting or whatever. Right now, that is not how it is.
See, and that's one thing I disagree with him on. I think competitive balance has always been a farce anyway.
Competitive balance that's a joke. I mean, that's just I guess banter, cover banter.
I think that he needs to find a better way to say that, because I'll tell you something. I mean, you're telling me Texas doesn't have a competitive balance over Utah?
Of course they do.
You're telling me USC didn't have a competitive balance over Rutgers?
I think he was gross. I think he grossly misquoted that, like you, because there's been nefarious things going on under the table. Now it's just all out in the open. And you know, I know you may disagree or you may agree with me on this, but a lot of people say that Nick Saban don't like this because it's kind of exposed some things that he may have had an advantage on, and some of these other coaches had advantage on in certain programs. Now it's kind of out in the open, and everybody's playing the game now.
I think everybody was playing. I think everybody was playing the game anyway.
But I think
now what it has done is allowed for some people that weren't necessarily in the game as committed, like at Texas A&M or Miami. But again, I think Saban is right that this isn't very sustainable, and I think it's going to create a bubble that's going to burst and really affect the sport. The competitive balance thing, I do not agree with him on. And the NIL thing, I wish – the other thing I think Saban's really trying to say is this. I think he is looking at it like the way we understand this is you're supposed to be able to get all this NIL money once you earn it.
Off stats and stuff.
Yeah. Or even when you first get to campus.
People are enticing.
But now people are using enticements, and that's going to create a false market.
And that's exactly
what he's talking about, and that makes sense. But
I knew that was coming anyway.
But here's the deal: if the NCAA would come out and say, "Yeah, that's right, and it sucks, but that's the way it is," instead of the NCAA is still sort of giving this, "Yeah, we might come down on some people later."
Who?
Tell us what you're going to tell us what you're going to do. If you don't have any rules, let's all not have rules.
Well, who are you going to come down on? I mean, everybody's trying to do this to stay competitive, but
they still haven't punished LSU, to my knowledge.
No, they probably never will. So that's going to wrap it up here for Sports Blitz Live. Again, Auburn Blitz back on the air tomorrow at noon to join Andy and JJ on the Wednesday edition. For Luke Robinson, I'm Brett Pritchard saying, we've enjoyed it. We'll hope you have. See you next time.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Hi, John. You have messages.
Not now, phone. I'm driving.
You know you want to text your friends.
Texting and driving is illegal. No distractions, period. People die that way. Eating, putting on makeup.
Scroll through your music?
Nope.
Your girlfriend just texted. She's bored.
Sorry, not worth dying for.
Good call. She seems a little clingy.
Don't text your life goodbye. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Are you looking for something really good for lunch? Are you tired of the same old fast food? Well, go to Buck's. Get a meat and 2 sides or a meat and 3 sides for the best deal in town. Buck's always serves up the best food, including fried chicken, wings, hamburger steaks, catfish, shrimp, and yes, of course, the famous Buck Cheeseburger Basket. And Buck's has dinner specials too. So if it's your turn to cook dinner, Buck's will be glad to do it for you. We appreciate your business and look forward to serving you.
Whoever you are, wherever you race, hit the track like a champion. The YZ250F and the YZ450F Monster Energy Yamaha Racing Editions. Only from Yamaha.
Fast Fast, fresh, and friendly. That's the Allen Brew Market mission to our customers on the go. Allen Brew Markets of Talladega County fuel your vehicle and you with the best coffee, drinks, snacks, and food so you can get your day on the fast track. Allen Brew Markets are always convenient with Sylacauga locations on Main Avenue, Highway 280, and Old Birmingham Highway. Allen Brew Markets has everything for the family on the go, and we're always brewing up great specials. Fast, fresh, and friendly, our guarantee to you.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
Fast, fresh, and friendly. That's the Allen Brew Market mission to our customers on the go. Allen Brew Markets of Talladega County fuel your vehicle and you with the best coffee, drinks, snacks, and food so you can get your day on the fast track. Allen Brew Markets are always convenient with Sylacauga locations on Main Avenue, Highway 280, and Old Birmingham Highway. Allen Brew Markets has everything for the family on the go, and we're always brewing up great specials. Fast, fresh, and friendly, our guarantee to you.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.